This is a true story. Not the game, but what I'm about to tell you. So I'm sitting in the theater, they're showing the previews of the upcoming movies, and one of them actually turns out to be a video game. I mean, not that you could tell, didn't show any gameplay whatsoever, and it used every single movie trailer cliche imaginable. But sure enough, by the end, I figured it out. Oh, that's a video game. And when it's over, my friend looks over at me and she says, "Hey, that looks like the worst movie ever." And that's what video games are now. I mean, they're like Rachel Lee Cook and She's All That. They think they need to be something else to be the pretty girl, when in fact they were already very attractive. But no, video games think they need to be movies for people to like them. That makes me not like them. Video games should want to be video games. Except this one. This one can be whatever it wants. Listen, I can count on my hands how many video games I've played that have told stories worth remembering. Honestly, even really good games often have really lousy stories filled with plot holes and bad writing and shallow characters and crap that gets in the way of what video games should deliver, that being fun gameplay. So it's all just, I mean, it's a sad state of affairs. Kind of makes me want to cry. But guess what? Only one video game has ever made me cry, and that's The Walking Dead. This is a video game with a story worth remembering. In fact, this is a game with a story you won't forget.
Jesus, are you fucking kidding me?
So this is Season 2 of The Walking Dead. All 5 downloadable episodes released on a single retail disc. And it picks up shortly after the events of the first season, in which we were introduced to a little girl named Clementine. A little girl whose journey has prompted a more emotional reaction from me than pretty much any other video game character probably ever. But here's the thing, I don't want to talk about it. 1, because I'm still trying to get over it, and 2, because I don't want to spoil it. Seriously, you guys, if you haven't played it, go get Season 1 right now. I mean, these episodes, they only take like 90 minutes apiece, and when you finish one, it's seriously almost impossible not to start the next one. For Clementine. Which brings us to Season 2. We meet back up with Clem shortly before she experiences yet another horrific event, sure to add a couple more years of therapy. But in terms of the game, I mean, it's pretty much what you remember. Same awesome gameplay, same structure. I mean, it's all the same as you remember. All the same, that is, except for Clementine. In fact, one of the coolest things about Season 2 is that Clem isn't the same little girl she was when we left her. All those awful experiences, I mean, they've made her stronger. She's not the one who needs protection anymore. So, as you might have noticed, Season 2 is all about Clementine and her evolution from scared little girl to little girl who walks around with a hammer. And a hammer that she's not afraid to use. This is her story. And the coolest thing about it is that you decide how far she goes. Your choices determine whether she'll at least retain the kindness that she had in Episode 1, or if her heart will become as hardened as her nerves. I mean, you can make Clem do things you never would have expected before. She might break into houses or threaten people. She can even use that cuteness that made you love her in the first place to manipulate people. Suddenly, the hammer doesn't seem so bad. So what's not to like? Well, I will say this. The focus on Clementine does come at the expense of other characters. Like Season 1 had more interesting characters. In this one, it seems like anyone who isn't Clementine is kind of only there for Clementine, you know, to develop her character one way or the other. And actually, you know, we're 2 seasons into this now, and the game still has the same technical problems. It just doesn't run that well, which sucks because the design work is so incredibly good. Like the art direction, and the graphics, and the voice work, and the writing. It's just a shame that it doesn't have the same quality on the technical side. But you know, even with those hiccups, you guys still need to play this game. Or actually, maybe game isn't even the right word for this. It's more like one of those choose-your-own-adventure novels, only in video. Or maybe it's like a movie where, you know, all the stuff that you yell at the screen, yeah, the characters actually listen. I don't know. I don't know what to call this. That's the brilliance of The Walking Dead. It's a game that tells a story not in that predictable, segmented video game way, like gameplay, cutscene, more gameplay, another boring cutscene that's all segmented and none of it really works together. No, in this one, the story is the game, and the game is the story. And even I have to admit, it really works. You want to tell stories, video games? Don't try to be movies. Try to be The Walking Dead.
Okay, bring it back. boy. Good boy.